Dude, look at this. Colors. So now I want this thing to stop changing colors. Hello guys, and today we're going to continue this crazy animation. So, let's go. What we have right now? We have this bam, bam, craziness. Bam, bam. Okay, cool. So, let's go crazy here. Let's enable animation mode. Why? I don't know why we are not actually doing that. We're doing frame by frame animation. Look at, but let's appreciate this animation of this dude for a bit. Look at that is stretch and that is squash there and then boom, bouncing back. Bam! Look at that beautifulness. Cool. And what I'm going to do on today's video is work on these other characters over here. These two dudes here. So let's go. We have this, and then this. Cool. So I'm going to animate the first block and then the second block over here. Cool. So from here to here, let's animate that. And how many frames do I need here? Just the frames. I will follow what I did on my rig animation. So it'll be easier. It'll be easier. So I only need two in betweens. Cool. So I'm going to in between here. Or maybe, yeah, let's go. Let's figure it out this stuff while doing. I like to first draw and then think rather than think and then draw. I used to think before drawing. You know what? I really like doing both, but sometimes depending on the day, I just want to start drawing and not overthink and just feel all of this stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Bam. Bam. So from here to here, we can see the features of the character sliding down. See, bam. So I'm always flipping. This is all about flipping. Like crazy, by the way. Like crazy. If you're flipping just like a normal dude, that's not... It's not okay. You have to flip like crazy. Bam, bam. And then look at this point here and look at this point here. I'm going to create an arc. So I might move this hair a bit towards that side. I'm going to go rough. I'm going to go rough. Look at that change of shapes. I'm doing something wrong there, so guess what? I'm fixing that stuff here. Bam. Adding this part here at the back. Bam. Bam. Maybe I can copy this eye and paste it here. Feels weird. I've been working with an iPad for the last month. I'm coming back to this tablet. Feels weird. Bam. Boom. Let me get rid of this center line for now. Just in between, not a big deal. I'm not going to have some fancy animation here because I need to move forward. Bam. Boom. Boom. Look at that. Bam. Bam. And then from here to here, bam. Look at that. He's moving. He's alive. And then these. That's why I'm flipping, because I am changing also a little bit the angle of this hand moving around. And for that I need to flip. Bam. Look at this point here. Bam, bam, bam. So instead of ending here, I would rather end this line around there. Bam. Boom. Here, imagine this. Imagine this is painted. Imagine this have a color. And the moment that I start cleaning and coloring this, look at how much the volume will increase here. So that's something that I have to think. That I have to think and just decrease this amount of volume that I'm showing in that part. Bam, bam. Same thing here. Bam. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Just a simple in between there, because I don't want to go into fancy stuff here. It's just the crowd characters. And let me see if this works from here to here. Oopsie, 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 oopsie. I need these other lines. And this other one here. Cool, cool. Look at that drag there in the titties. Very important, dragging the titties every time that you're going to animate titties. Bam. Bam. Here I don't want to show that gap between the hair and the head, so I'm going to just keep that closer to that. Maybe move this up. There you go. Let me clean this drawing a little bit, just because I want more clarity here in the shapes that I'm moving around. Bam. Here I can even stretch this eye. I can even stretch that eye. So let's be more clear there. And then here are these. Bam. I can show a little bit of this part of the nose, so it moves around. Also, I have to check the space between the nose and the eye. I'm looking at the volume of the mouth of this shape. Bam. Look at that. See how I'm designing this frame? Bam. On top of that rough pass that I did. Bam. The color will go like that. Bam. Boops. Better. Oops. I need a thicker line. Need to delete this. Cool, we have the in-between. Now, now I just need to add a frame between these two, bam, to slow down all of this stuff, which is going to be even simpler. So let's go. Awesome. Now, this other arm. Let's finish with this one. Bam. Cool. Keep moving down. Let's delete this. Bam, 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 bam. Now here I'm going to just trace on top of this one over here, because I don't want to lose volume, so I want to keep everything intact. So node view, onion skin, get out of here, bam. And then I'll just grab everything, boom, and move all of these up. This is a bit, this is not appealing. So if this is the circle of the hand, and this is holding this stuff, yeah, I like that better. That feels like it's holding here, bam. Boom. Awesome. That's the hand over here. Maybe I can one line the thumb with the hand. Nah. This is the part where I'm designing. I'm trying to figure out this stuff. Bam. And I can put the glove around here. Better. Now it change. So these will change over here too. I don't like this hand. What did I have before this? Maybe I can just use this one over here. And I like it, it's simple. And I don't have to do crazy stuff. I can even one line in here at the bottom. Yeah, that'll be enough. See, get out of here. Just keep everything super simple. Here, get out of here. Awesome. Dude, I can't believe working on the iPad is more comfortable than working here. It's crazy. That's squashy. Boom. Awesome. Let's see how that looks like. Bam. With the character. Awesome. It's working. Bam. Also, this should look at the dude over here. Bam. Boom. There you go. It's looking at the dude. I'm losing volume here in the arm. So bam. Oops. Losing volume here. Awesome. There you go. We have the first half of this dude. Bam. And then we can jump. I can copy and paste this one here. What the heck I'm doing? Copy and paste this one here. So it feels like a slow out here. And then here, I can just grab all of this and stretch it up. No. I have to stretch this one over here. And maybe the body. Bam, bam. Could settle and just move a little bit up. So it's very limited animation here, bam. Nah. Overcomplicating all of this stuff again. You come here, duplicate, boom, just stretch a bit up. I don't want to spend years in between and cleaning this. In here. Cool. Very beautiful. So maybe these could be even earlier. There you go, perfect. Bam. It feels good. And the secret here is not only doing like I try to make a little bit of an arc. So here I need to make a little bit more of an arc forward. So there you go. It feels more rounded. It's not only like tack tack. There you go. And maybe on this one, you can even open the eyes a bit more. With colors, it will feel even more bam. Cool. So now the other dude, let's go. White color PG. No. Color card. Cool. Bam. Two. How much does this dude moves? Okay, the booty and all of this doesn't move almost nothing, which that's the idea. Okay, these lines will move a bit more. Because all of this will be affected. Bam. Boom, only 2 frames. So here, I can copy this, bam, bam, bam. And use this to make an art, to make an arc here. Bam. The arm. Now here I can do a trick, which is just moving around, playing around with this one, and then popping into the next one. Bam. Now these are the bracelets. Boom. And here, you can just copy this entire pose. Now, I need to in between steal all of this. Huh? What the heck? I get rid of that one for. Is this one over here? This is so boring, dude. Okay. The body of this dude here, here. Beautiful. Oh no, I can take all of this dude 01, and I can copy all of these frames of this dude here, because I can animate with a peg some stretch and squash on this dude, and that will just help a lot. Bam. So I'm going to boom add a peg here and move this here, and with these two squashes I can do this. Feels more alive because I don't have the patience to add more frames here. Even here I can just delay this so it feels like it's going down on all of these frames, even all the way here. See? Everything feels like it's moving, and I'm just moving this and squashing everything. And I can add a slow in here for 555, 22. And maybe because you're seeing this behind the scenes, you will you'll feel like it is losing the magic, but yeah. And then I can grab this frame, for example, over here, and I can use this to recoil this pose. Even less. There you go. Let me get rid of this rough pass. Oopsie. That would be. Bam. Look at that. Look at that. With just a few frames that I drew. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other dude. Move this here. Bam. And even moving this a bit back. And I'm going to slow out these 54, 52, 23, 22. And now look at this. Even here in this overshoot. Even here in this overshoot. I will take this dude, get rid of this, get rid of this. Come on. There you go. Now I'm going to get rid of this dude on the other frames. And now I need an in between here for this dude. From this frame to this frame, which is moving a little bit. It's moving. So here I can just keep cheating this stuff. I can make this head moving towards the front, which is this is exact same thing we're doing with cutout animation, just moving the pieces apart and changing the frames in the fastest part of the movement so it doesn't feel like we are changing the drawings. So I'm trying to replicate the same thing here with my traditional animation, just to save the time that will take me to rig this entire dude. Cool. But I am animating this dude in the same way I'll do a cutout animation, just to save some time. Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty standing here. Bam. Take the wheel and zing. Bam. Get out of here. I can even stretch this. There you go. Boom. Somewhere I belong. Bam. This is day 6 of being of living without AirPods, because I lose the AirPods on the airplane. Bam. Cool. Now I'm going to grab this over here, just so it doesn't change too much. I was thinking, I think it was today, that, dude, I don't love animation. I love what can I do with animation. I love that I can have fun animating. Right now it's not that fun. But I like what I can do with animation more than animation itself. And I was thinking like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I like more seeing the final short, creating a short film, creating stories, telling stories, creating characters, creating controversial stories. Man, I like that more than the fact of animating. And I remember when I was first starting to animate, I was very romantic. I was very romantic with all of this stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah, animation." It's like, yeah, it's my love and all of that, but not anymore. Not anymore. I like it, but I love other stuff. I love hanging out with friends. See how it feels like the piercing is moving. Bim, bim, bim. And that is very important to me to define early in my career. I used to talk with a friend, and we used to talk about. He used to say to me, "I don't see my." He's a video editor. I don't see myself working in front of in front of my computer all my life, dude. What the heck? And that makes sense to me. And I remember at that time I was like super in love with animation, and I'm like, I don't care if I spend all my life in front of my computer. I want to do this, but now I'm like, dude, I want to do so many other things, and that's something that I was thinking today. It's like here, for example. Wait, let me finish my thought. It's like being able to see the bigger picture more than just the game. What the heck? What the heck, Henry? Again, you're talking about all of this stuff. Yes, dude. Look at that. Bam. And here, I can even stretch this out mode. There you go, and it feels like, bestie puta. Sounds like, bam. And then here, 44. So I'm powering up. I'm putting roids. I'm putting asteroids to this animation. Bam, bam. And same thing for this other dude here. Bam. Somewhere I belong. Bam. And the timing also is desynchronized, so it helps a lot. Beautiful, isn't it? And for cleaning up, I will draw another layer here, and I'll put it inside of this peg that what the heck is it? For cleaning up, I will just reuse the peg and turn the peg off when I have to clean. So I clean on top of the animation that is not moving that much, and then I just enable back the pegs so it will keep all the animation that I did right now. Makes sense? Cool. Bam. Amazing. And on another layer, I will animate this trampoline stuff. See? Bam, bam. Awesome. There you go. Bam, bam. Then I can cut all of these in twos. Boom. So it keeps the feeling of being traditional. Let's see. Beautiful. See? Now it, if you don't see that these animations have pegs, I don't know if you'll notice. And if you'll notice, cool. And this is enough. This is good for some crowd characters. Boom, boom. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, now I have to animate the trampoline stuff. Somewhere I belong. Onion skin. Even look at my position. This crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Everything is hurting right now. I went to the gym yesterday for a long time that I haven't went to the gym. I went to the gym yesterday, and everything is hurting right now. Everything is hurting, which is nice. I'm drawing through to connect all of these lines, even though we are not seeing them. Just so everything makes sense. Look at that. And that onion skin here. Alright, let's see. Let's see through all of this stuff. I think this point will be there. There you go. This will be there. Dude, what the heck, dude? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. My hand doesn't hurt with the Apple Pencil. That's weird. That's fucking weird. That's weird. No. What happened to my phone? Okay, my phone died. Hello? What happened to my phone? It was not charging all this time. Cool. That's where it is. That's where it is. That's where it is. I'm glad that we are almost done with this. So, bam, bam, and then nice. This thing could be a little bit like this. Move it down. Better. And here the same story for this stuff. I might create a new layer. That I will call like trampoline. I think that's the name of this stuff. I'll put it here. I'll put a peg. Then I'll go back to these drawings. And all of these are nice here. These ones, I'll put it in this layer. Bam. And then this one over here, boom, to the same layer. Bam. And this one over here, bam. And I think over here, this one, bam. And then the trampoline, boom. Then where's this? This here, bam. Let's see. Better, bam. See? And then I can even overshoot this. See if it's like wow, 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 or like wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I like that. I can even delay this even more. Awesome. Awesome. Then boom, 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 33, 222, 222, 222, 222, 222. Ho ho, and then I'll cut these in twos so it matches the overall style. Beautiful, beautiful. And guess what? On the cleanup, I just have to clean this on top of this layer, and then turn off the peg, create a new layer, and clean on top of this one, and then turn on the peg, and it will follow the animation. Awesome. Super cool. We move really fast on this first half. On the other half, I will. That's a little bit more traditional animation, but I can still use some help of the pegs to make my life easier and work faster and not harder. Awesome. Cool. Oops. Let me expand this over here. Then expand this over here. Let me expand this over here. Maybe. No. No. So we have this. Whoa! Boom. Look at that. Super fluid. Super nicely. Bam. Look at that. Bam. And it will be really nice because well, I hope I can outsource this to some friends to help me with the cleanup. And then I will put some compositing notes that will make the outer line of the character thicker, like the robot here. Like I will create a node to have the outer line of the characters to be thicker than the inner line, and that'll be super fun. Cool. There you go. That's the first half of the animation, and the second half, boom, next video. Cool. Hope you like this one, and I will see you next time. Oh, by the way, dude, if you're new to this channel, just always remember that you have to like and subscribe. Bye.